Yo, what's good, everyone? It's Zigzag here. Welcome back to Geoguessr Explained. Today, I am going to be taking you guys through how to guess Peru, which is another, this is a series which I have put on the back burner, but it's back now. We're looking at mastering countries from around Geoguessr, so not only how to identify the country, but more so even how to guess within the country. And today I have Remy, who's someone who's played a lot of Peru. In fact, over 5,000 games of Peru, so welcome to the channel, Remy.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Hello.
And so we're going to just go through, as we normally do, looking at the Plonket guide, and then we're going to look at the map maker, just so you guys get an idea of where to guess in Peru, because obviously a lot of the country does not have coverage. Indeed, not many people live out here, so that kind of makes sense. There's not many roads. And what else? And then we're just going to play some Peru at the end, and hopefully it's beneficial to you guys. So firstly, let's get into the Plonket guide, shall we? And I'll probably do most of the talking in this section, but Remy, just interrupt me if there's anything that you would like to point out or that
Okay,
kind of thing.
okay, that works. Yeah.
Yeah. So, for one, I'm going to turn you up a little bit. First things first here, we of course have the number plates. The number plates in Peru, they're kind of shorter, right, than like Brazil or something like that. And almost always just going to be the white color with like what kind of vehicles do they put the yellow ones? It's like government vehicles or something like that, right?
Yeah. And I can also add that they have like those I don't know if they say it in the guide actually like later on, but they have like white and red stripes on them, like
Mhm.
those vehicles with
Okay, sure.
yellow
We
plates.
can probably find one when we're actually playing the game later on. But yeah,
Mm.
you do see these relatively commonly. I would say that it's like a much pale yellow than Colombian number plates, so you can definitely use that to distinguish them because sometimes it can be a little confusing. In the old coverage, you get the white and the black car. That's pretty straightforward, which makes it more difficult than like Bolivia or Uruguay, where you only get one of the cars. Obviously, Peru is using both. And then the Generation 4 car, it's normally like a kind of gray color. But you also get the small cam now as well. And so, yeah, they've actually mentioned the small cam here. So far, if I recall
Mhm.
correctly, the small cam is basically confined to like the Cusco area. Is that correct?
Yeah, but there is some like west of it on the road, west of like Abancay kind of area, like all the way to Abancay. Even more northwest actually. I'm not sure, but yeah, it is mostly Cusco and like south of Cusco.
Okay, there's Abancay
Um,
there, yeah.
yep.
Okay, nice. And then we have the road lines in Peru. Typically, you're going to get these two configurations, either with the dashed or the double yellow road lines, or they just do like Italian style with just the whites on the outside. This is more common, but you're going to see both. Um,
Can I mention something?
yep.
Uh, on the coast, on the highway that like goes along the coast, you can sometimes see all whites,
Oh, true.
which
Yes,
is
yes. Very good point. Very good
yeah,
point. On that main highway, which is, oops, I accidentally clicked here, but which is the one that runs up and down. Yeah, definitely you can see
yeah.
those all whites. Is it like kind of random or does it appear here and there? What's the deal with that?
I think it's kind of random. I don't really know like specifically, but
Sure. But yeah, for example, right here, this is all whites for whatever reason. Not really sure why.
so you could technically confuse it with Chile, especially because like
hmm
that south part looks kind of like Chile.
Yeah. Pretty much the main country you'll confuse with Peru in general, I would say, is probably Chile. So definitely worth keeping in mind that that's possible. Peru using that striped signpost, as opposed to pretty much every other country in South America doesn't do this. So within Latin America, it's a really nice meta, I would say. And then Peru has tons of different bollards, which I'm sure we'll touch on later on. But the kind
Hmm.
of most typical one's going to have some kind of yellow. It's going to be pretty short, and it's going to be white normally. And triangular ones are pretty common too. One thing that's more consistent though is this guardrail that has the black and yellow stripes on it, which is, I mean, you can see that in Bolivia, right? Like very occasionally, but it is much more common in Peru. Much more common.
They do have them like without the yellow part in
hmm
Philippines sometimes, but
Oh,
yeah,
true. Yeah, good point. Yeah, they do have a similar
some
design in
islands I
Philippines.
forgot.
Yeah. This is the kilometer marker, which you're gonna see along highways, which is pretty common, I would say. And then a lot of the Peruvian signs are actually going to be on cinder blocks like this, which is also within South America, I would say, unique, right?
Mm.
Then we've got this style of pole. So a lot of times the electricity poles in Peru will look quite similar to the Argentinian style, except when you have the three nodes facing all the same direction, that's something like basically specific to Peru, which is quite cool. Once you start noticing this one, it's very useful. Then you're going to see wooden poles as well, and you're also going to see some metal frame designs like this. Now, bear in mind that you're going to see this like pencil top on the concrete poles, which is almost completely unique to Peru, which is really useful. So if you're ever not quite sure if a pole's Peruvian, you can zoom in to see if it has the pencil top, because most of them will. Pole paints on the bottom of the pole. A lot of times you're going to see like the bumblebee design like this. Kind of similar to Colombia, except it's normally... I would say it always goes down to the bottom, doesn't it?
Yeah. Also, like I feel like this one has like a lot of strialing, like 3 yellow, 2 black. But I think it's like if it's only like yellow, black, yellow. I mean, it'll probably show up in some rounds, but yeah. I think it's specific to like Ica area. It's
Ikai.
kind of like Ica, Ica.
Oh, Ika. Sure. So
Yeah.
if it has one less band on it, then Ika is over here. Yeah.
I don't remember quite what they look like right now, but like if it shows up, I'll
Yeah.
probably mention it. And
Brid-
there's also some other city-specific ones.
Yeah, definitely. Which we'll hopefully run into, but if we don't, no worries.
Yeah.
Because it's all pretty, yeah, as you said, city-specific stuff is pretty, yeah, it's pretty, what would you say? Like, it's pretty niche knowledge that you don't necessarily need to be good at Peru, but obviously helps. Bridges, they paint them orange, yes, and you're going to see a lot of bridges because it's a mountain country, so it's actually worth knowing that. And then, yeah, obviously the typical landscape, we're going to get into that a lot later. Tuk-tuks is something that Remy's actually researched quite a lot, so we'll talk about that as well. But you're going to see them a lot in Peru compared to other Latin American countries. And here is what you're
especially
talking
in the
about.
Amazon part, yeah.
Yeah, Amazon part, North Coast, all of that.
Iquito, yeah.
This is the yellow plated vehicle. They actually put the plate on the side of the vehicle, but you're also going to see these things, which I actually didn't realize, but that's kind of cool. The electricity counter I've always thought this one was like a bit, like kind of looks like an Among Us character in my opinion, like with the box at the top kind of representing like the helmet. But it's going to have 3 lines. It's always going to be shaped kind of like a door, like a Minecraft door or like an Among Us character or whatever you want to say. But that is very consistent. You're going to see these on most buildings in Peru. So this is actually S tier knowledge, I would say.
There are even like city-specific ones, but again, for example, I'll just mention like the Cusco one, which is sometimes blue, like I would say like 70% of the time.
But I would say like in the Amazon you're going to see a lot of blue ones as well, right? That's something I noticed a long time ago.
Yeah.
And where do they paint them black? There's
Hmm?
also some places where you can see black ones as well, right?
I'm not sure. I just know in Cusco it's like these 3 cities, Cusco, Ayacucho, and Huancayo, are 3 like the biggest cities kind of like in this area, and you're gonna confuse them a bunch because they're like basically impossible. Like the landscape, like especially Ayacucho and Huancayo look like similar, so they have like different. I think Ayacucho has like, you see how there's like 3 holes on Plunkett.
Yep.
I think one of the cities has 2.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken.
We can maybe work that out when we go through on Map Maker.
Yeah.
Soul is the currency. I actually didn't know that. I can't lie, I did not know that. But that could also be useful if you're like more of a player who's into reading clues, because yeah, that's gonna have an S before the price of things. Okay. Political parties. I don't know if you've gone much into that, but I know people have researched it, and you're going to see political posters everywhere. So even if you don't remember a single political party, it can still be useful to know that they put these political ads and spray paint them on all kinds of buildings in Peru. So that's good to know. Peru has, a bunch of different house styles, but like mud brick is going to be really common. Red brick is going to be pretty common as well. And then tiled roofs with these kind of tiles, kind of similar to Brazil, very common too. Okay, now we're getting onto the region guessing stuff. So obviously topography is huge, which we're gonna look more at soon. But the basic thing to say about Peru is that you're going to have like a super green Amazonian climate east of the mountains, and then west of the mountains, it's going to be super dry, and especially in the north flat part, extremely arid. Almost looks like the UAE or something. And then between, you get all kinds of landscapes, which makes Peru really difficult. It's a difficult country. I should have mentioned that at the outset, but if you watch this and you go ahead and play and you don't see results, then it's probably not your fault. It's probably just because Peru's really difficult. Anything to say about
Yeah,
that?
one thing about Peru, you see how like exactly because of like that reason, I think it's like you can lose a lot of points because a lot of I think the hardest region by far is the Andes,
Mm-hmm.
and you can like go like super north and like a super south round because of that.
Yeah, you can see the climate
Um,
map kind of shows Cajamarca is like already pretty similar to Cusco, so you will screw those up sometimes.
yeah,
It's just a reality of playing it, but there are also clues to get the right side. Um, yeah, tropical, arid. You can kind of see how it works here. There's a clear divide between the mountains, and then, you know, yeah, within them, you get some interesting climates too.
mhm.
Oh, the highway numbering system. Do you want to take this? Because I don't really know too much. I know like the numbers get bigger
Um,
the further south you go, but yeah.
I mean the 30s are kind of just in the south, and then like you have the 5N that just runs through the Amazon. You have I think the 1N is the coastal one.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but yeah, basically that's about it. I don't think
Sure,
I haven't studied it that much, but
sure thing. Yeah, you're gonna get like this very African looking landscape right on the Ecuadorian border. And why I say African is because the trees are kind of low and wide in a kind of similar way that you'd see in like Kenya or something like that. So this is a really, really useful area to know, and you can get huge points against a weak opponent if you can identify it. Same thing with this area here, the flat landscape with the desert, which is up near Piura, and then obviously like you kind of have like a transition zone where it's like quite hilly. Coconut palms, more so found in the north. Do you think this is quite consistent?
yeah, this is quite consistent at around the cities of I think it's like what is it, Piura and what's the other one?
Chiclayo,
Chiclayo.
Trujillo.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
They're actually I think they're more common like in like north of Chiclayo, but
Mm-hmm.
you can see them like on these roads like north of Piura. You can see them like really often, like Sullana, Piura. Yeah, this region.
Sure, sure. And then olive tree plantations. That's a really. I lost my World League game to MK by temporarily forgetting this one.
Mm.
That's really useful. The on the Chilean border, the olive trees, and they're pretty recognizable. I would say once you've seen them a few times. Maybe we can open up the location here just to have a quick squiz. But yeah, they're kind of like a bit of a beige color, beige green, and yeah, I don't know. If you're from Europe, you've probably seen them a bunch. So that's the olive tree plantations. Sugarcane leans more to the north. You can see it in the south as well sometimes. In valleys, you can see it in general, I would say. Bananas are
Yeah, they're
also
really.
coastal. You were going to say
Yeah,
about
I
the
was
sugarcane?
gonna say like yeah, yeah. They're very common against like around like what do you call them? Like I think there's like two big cities in the north.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like valleys
Mm, mm, mm.
next to them. And I think in both valleys you can see them like Trujillo and
Yeah.
Chimbote,
Yeah, like
those
around
two.
this area is super common. Yeah, agreed,
Yeah.
agreed, agreed. Banana plants also coastal. Flat landscapes with this kind of like tufty grass is really common around Lake Titicaca in the south, but then also kind of reappears, which can be very frustrating.
Mm.
Can also kind of reappears right outside of Lima, inside some of the plateaus. So if we just turn off Street View here and we turn on the terrain map, you can see that there's like the big kind of plateau here around Lake Titicaca. Same thing on the Bolivian side, but then there is also a bit of a plateau here around this lake in Junin. So
Mm.
it does get difficult, but generally speaking, the mountains here are like way taller, so you can kind of identify those, I think, because the mountains here, like surrounding Lake Titicaca, are kind of smaller. So in theory, it's not too bad.
Yeah, but it is a common
Yeah,
50-50. I
yeah.
mean, if you're not experienced, but we can talk about it later too, and like while playing.
Yep, we have stone walls around the houses here, commonly found in Lake Titicaca. Shrubby bushes are more common in the north. We kind of saw that with the area that looks like Africa, but yeah, this general shrub region is more common in the north. Pine plantations are really common around Cajamarca, but then kind of reappear in the south. This one I think is like a quite a good um, tip for Cajamarca, though, in my experience.
Yeah, for sure. Um, my friend told me, I think it's like the Peruvian friend told me that there's like a park or something. There's like one road that runs through a park, and it's like super consistent. It has them like alongside the road.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah, nice, 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 nice. So that's kind of specific knowledge can give such good guesses. Um, yeah, and then oh yeah, this kind of landscape here is very distinct to this kind of central southern kind of mountain area. These kind of, I don't know how you'd even describe those exposed rocky outcroppings. Seems like a good description. But yeah, that's really
yeah,
common in this area, and it looks super cold as well because it is, up in the mountains. Um, Light green lichen, this kind of plant here, more common in the south. Do you use this?
I don't really use like vegetation clues
Mm,
honestly
hmm,
because I'm
hmm,
not really good at using them. I use like vibes combined with other metas,
hmm,
but I
hmm,
mean for some people it can be useful.
hmm. Red soil, not too useful as you can see from the map, but generally speaking, going to place you inside the mountains, which makes sense. This kind of barren landscape in the south, obviously, like the Atacama is just one of the driest places on Earth, so you're gonna see that there's very little vegetation on that southern coast area, very little. Yeah, and you get a
Oh,
lot of.
one more thing about
Hmm, hmm, hmm.
sorry, one more thing about the red dirt. Uh, if you see a city, like an actual city, and there's red dirt, it's mostly just gonna be Cusco.
Hmm.
If
I
it's
think
like a
that
really
checks out.
built up city.
Yeah, let's see if we can like pull one of those, maybe on like a road like this. Let me see if we can pull some red soil here. Yeah, there you go. It's very pink.
Yeah, I mean, even in the city itself, like it's pretty red, like all over the place.
Let's go here.
Um,
This one, yeah, still pinkish for sure. Yeah, you can tell here. That's pink. And there's that pencil top pole which I was telling you about. You must know that if you're struggling to identify Peru at least. Okay, getting towards the end here. Um, so red brick is more common in that southern plateau, but pretty much visible everywhere for sure. This one, the overhanging roofs with wooden supports being more common in the north, is interesting. I feel like this one you can misidentify it, so specifically look for stuff that looks like this, right?
yeah, this one is kind of troll
Yeah.
sometimes.
It's
Yeah.
yeah. I guess if you look around, you see a bunch of them, and you don't see any other clues, you could use that. Tuk-tuks with the open
Yeah.
front are primarily found in the northern half. That seems to check out, does it not?
Yeah, that checks out. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. The lampposts in Lima and Lima Department of it often have the sweeping curve that looks like a J. Interesting. I did not know that.
Mhm. Oh, this is the one you mentioned earlier, actually. Not the bollard, I mean.
Yeah. Oh yeah. This is just before when we were talking. This is the Moquegua bollard, most commonly found in Moquegua. Yellow, black, white, cylindrical, very common, especially what's it saying? Yeah, inside Moquegua.
Mhm.
Spotlights, I think we'll leave alone. But you can
Okay.
check these out as well on the Plonker Guide. The Plonker Guide is really great. And let's have a look at the map itself. So, is there anything you want to point out before I go here?
Mm, no, I don't think so.
Yeah, we kind of like mentioned most of it already. Iquitos is one of the places with coverage all the way up here. It's like the most disconnected piece of coverage, and I think it's one of the biggest cities in the world that's not connected by roads, right? Because it's along this
Mm.
river, and it does have roads within itself, and yeah, I mean, you're just gonna have to remember that you're not gonna see mountains in Iquitos, which is very useful. The 30C is also one of the most distinctive roads. It's hilly, but there are no mountains there either, which is useful to know as well. So you're gonna see that kind of very flat green landscape, and it's basically gonna put you in one of these three areas, because also Pucallpa is quite flat too.
Also,
mhm.
you could say like the 30C kind of reminds you of like Brazil, obviously, because it's kind of like near Brazil.
Yeah, it's on the way to Brazil.
Uh,
It definitely looks like Brazil. It's 2022 coverage, and it has like quite a like a little bit of a haze to it. Like it almost looks a bit bushfire-ish, which you sometimes see in the Amazon. So yeah, it checks out. I think you can definitely recognize this road. Additionally, here we have those cinder blocks, which the signs are sitting on. And yeah, landscape-wise, you're going to see a bit of red soil. It does look quite Brazilian. There's the Google car I was telling you about. That's like kind of gray. So yeah. Okay, and then also like what's worth noting is like the mountains do go to the coast frequently, but then you've also got these flatter parts towards the coast as well. The terrain map kind of looks like it's going to be hilly, but I mean, yeah, it's hilly, but it's still by Peruvian standards quite flat. And here's those white roadlands again.
yeah, I was gonna mention that.
Exactly. Lima is like got like okay, we can just click anywhere here and you can see what typical Lima looks like. Maybe even we can do better than that, I think. Like here. Yeah, Lima's just like massively populated, which again, this is kind of a bad example. I was hoping that we could actually see like
Maybe click in like Ate or 8,
out there.
like the
Okay.
suburb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's try this. Maybe I'm just trying to like get slightly on top of a hill so we can get a view down. But unfortunately I keep getting unlucky. Maybe this one, Kaye 30. Okay, here we go. This is
Oh,
the
there you go.
yeah. This is the typical Lima where you can just see houses on houses and there's almost no vegetation in these runs when you look out this direction and there is no place on earth this could be apart from Lima. I'm telling you, like it's just so distinctive, isn't it, Remy?
Yeah, I think this is just like I hate using like vibes without explanations because it's like kind of like I don't know. But I'm telling like if you play a little bit of Peru, like you're gonna start vibing Lima.
Yeah,
Like you don't even need to like
yeah.
you're just gonna like know it's Lima kinda. I don't know.
Yeah, it's quite easy and basically it's normally going to be quite polluted as well, which is a good clue. I mean, other cities will get polluted as well, but Lima's just like such a huge population, so many people, and it's in a valley, especially like this part. So, yeah, it's especially when you get to like East Lima, it's going to be very polluted. But yeah, you're going to see more of these like flat places along the coast. I want to like show you guys near the before we get into games. I want to show you guys this plateau as well. So this is what this looks like. Here's the grass tufts, which I said are most commonly found around the Lake Titicaca in the south. But here's where you'd look west and you would see, yeah, this is west, and you would see these like very pointy, tall mountains, and that would indicate to you that you're actually in the middle of the country, not in the south. So that's kind of the best way to get that one. Um, and then the small cam, I guess this should probably be small cam. Yeah, it's going to have the really wide
Yeah.
blur. And as of recording in late 2025, that's going to put you around Cusco area, but it'll probably expand to the whole country eventually. So likely outdated by the time you're watching this. Another good one is Tacna, where like
Yeah.
the kind of whole city is like surrounded by these sand dunes, and you would think that's like really common in Peru, but it's actually not. Like normally the mountains look much more normal than this, but yeah, if you see like a big sand dune to the east or to the southeast, then you're gonna be in Tacna, and it's really easy, honestly. You can see like the difference on the map.
Yeah, one more thing about Dakana is like you can I mean, this is more like kind of like architecture, but there you see a lot of tents, especially in the southern suburb, like those like white tents, and it looks like really poor by even by Peru standard, even by like South American standards.
Right. Can
Um,
we find one? Where are we gonna look here? Maybe over here.
it's like south of the city. There's like
Not seeing any. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I feel like southern Peru is just extremely poor to begin with, right? Like around the
yeah,
lake and in the south is quite quite poor. Tons of volcanoes here as well, but this makes sense because if you look over the border, there's tons in northern northern Chile and southern Bolivia. Look at that. So it kind of continues a bit over this direction, but less distinctive. But you're still going to see like Arequipa has some huge volcano-shaped mountains outside of it. Can we get a good view here, do you think? Probably.
Oh yeah, there is like a few roads where you can like recognize them by just looking at the volcanoes.
Exactly.
Um,
Okay, so that's the first 25 minutes. I think we're going to do now like 25 minutes of gameplay. But no, firstly, we're going to look at maybe at some tuk-tuks, right? Let's do that first.
oh yeah, sure.
So this is some new meta. So guide me, guide me. Where do you want to go first?
Oh, so let's just do like in general. So in the northern part, in the Amazonian part, we have these like open roof tuk-tuks that we saw on the Plunkett guide. Which yeah, there you go. Have just like flat roofs. We have like basically they're just open. They don't have like a shell. That I call them like shells, which
Hmm.
we're gonna see soon.
Hmm.
But yeah, you can see them a lot in this like northeastern part of the country.
This one would be one with a shell, or what? Is that true?
Yeah, so like this is like less common in those, but I mean you
Hmm.
can see like for example like I don't know. There's just one of these and then there's like a bunch of those other ones. So if you see like a lot more open roofed ones, you can be sure that you're like
Amazonian
um
or northern, right?
yeah.
Hmm. And here's that blue electricity candle we were saying is quite common in the Amazon as well,
Yeah. And Cusco.
and Cusco,
But
and Cusco. Okay, so there's those ones. What should we look at next?
so those are like kind of Amazonian, and then at Lima and south we have the ones with shells that I call them. They're like basically like metal encasings. They're fully like um you know have like a
Yeah, let's try and find
proper
one
shell.
ourselves here. Maybe this is too downtown. I'm not sure. Seems like they have a lot of taxis in Arequipa. Proper taxis. Okay. Where should we go? What's a good city where we can find them? Is Arequipa fine?
Maybe just Ica.
Ica. Okay. Let's see if we can find one in Ica easily. Oh yeah, here we have some.
Be a bunch. Yeah.
So this is like more like an
So
Indian style, auto rickshaw style, I would say, right?
yeah.
Yeah, you can see a
Yeah,
bunch of
there's a
them.
bunch of them.
Yeah, they're definitely more reminiscent, I would say, of the ones you find in the subcontinent. And so that should lean you south. Is there any other ones we should mention? Oh, we should talk about the ones here as well, shouldn't we?
Yeah, sure.
This is quite a
So
cool meta. This is quite a cool meta.
okay, immediately we see this person. I think taxi drivers have to wear these yellow jackets.
It's such an interesting rule.
Um, yeah, and here they have those hybrid tuk-tuks that I was talking about. So this is the only Amazonian town that really consistently has these. So they're not fully open roofed, but they're also not like actually like metal shells. It's kind of like between.
Yeah, I could definitely
So
agree. Yeah. They're kind of halfway between the two designs we looked at. I want to find a guy with the yellow uniform inside, but he's not wearing his.
yeah, I think they should be both in bikes but I'm
But
not
that's
sure.
pretty. I mean, that's pretty distinctive. Like this feels very gettable because it looks like a lot of them are
Mm.
wearing it. Yeah, very cool. Very cool. But okay. Any others to mention?
Oh yeah, so the shell ones were like south of Lima.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then we have those like hybrid ones, but they're a bit different, like in Lima and all the way to the north.
Mm-hmm.
I should mention the tuk-tuk metas are only really consistent, like in the Amazon and like near the coast, because in the Andes it's kind of like a mess, like it's not very consistent.
Sure. Sure.
So these are only for the coast really and the Amazon.
Gotcha.
So north of Lima we have hybrid ones, yeah.
And then we also mentioned when we were talking before the Chincha Alta ones, which are purely one color, right? This was quite cool.
Mm-hmm.
They're just
Yeah, there you go.
well, I mean, there's a bit of a mix here, but like three out of the four are purely one color, which is pretty useful.
Yeah. We should be in that general area between like Ica and Chincha Alta.
Which
Because
is,
sometimes you can see some like outside the city
I
too.
mean, it's not a city I'd heard the name of, but it's pretty significantly big, so you could definitely get a great guess like that. Okay, I think it's anything else
Oh yeah,
to
Pucallpa,
mention? Oh
Pucallpa.
yeah, Bukaipa. Okay.
The beak ones. The
Oh, true, of course. I'd forgotten. Okay, so then we have this style in Pucallpa, which is like shaped like a, you know, like the Peaky Blinders cap. That's what I'm thinking of with this one.
I don't know what that is.
If you, I guess maybe some of the viewers will know what I mean, but yeah, it's like the, I don't even know what it's actually called. Like it's like a certain type of hat.
Mm.
But anyway, it's
But yeah,
got the like kind
basic.
of the point, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, it's kind of hard to see from some angles, especially if playing like NMPZ. But yeah, we have a mix here too. For example, you can have a mix here, but you're never gonna see the beak one outside of Pucallpa. Maybe you're
Okay.
gonna see it like on the roads, like out of it, but
And by the
that's
way,
about it.
guys, you may be tempted to brush this one off and be like, that's too difficult to learn. But bear in mind how far Pucallpa is from the other cities you might go. It's like, it sounds fine in theory not to learn this, but if you try and guess down here in Puerto Maldonado, and it actually ends up being Pucallpa, like GG, you're losing 1,000+ points. Even Tarapoto is quite distant, so you really got to know your stuff when it comes to Amazonia and Peru. It's really important.
Yeah, it's like I think most of these Amazon. I mean, all of the bigger Amazonian cities are basically solvable.
Hmm.
Especially because like Pucallpa is also I think one of the only ones that has Gen 4 really commonly.
Right, right.
So combined with the Peru, uh, like if you're playing moving and you have one of those cities, like it's basically like solved. You can guess them like you can 5K every time, not
Yeah,
5K, but you can get the city every
yeah,
time
yeah, yeah.
basically.
No, that's very cool. And do bear in mind that Iquitos is only Generation 3 at time of recording. So you're always going to have either the black or the white car there. You're not going to have the Generation 4 car. So that's really also important to know. Okay, it's time to play, is it not?
Yeah, sure, let's go.
Let's get into it. And I guess I'll make guess first, but we can basically feel free to talk as much as you want. Like, I don't really we're just trying to teach everyone here. So here again, we got the gray car, we got the yellow lines in the middle, everything looking Peruvian. This is difficult for sure. I think copyright is actually pretty relevant in Peru. At least when I play, I'm checking
Yeah, I
that
was
out.
gonna mention that.
Hmm. So why don't you take us through like the general principles for that if you're also familiar?
Oh yeah, for sure. So most of the roads in the south, at least before, were 23,
Mm-hmm.
like Arequipa and like basically up to Ica
Mm-hmm.
area.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but they're getting 25
Yeah.
too,
Yeah.
like slowly. North around the lake Junin, it's mostly 25.
Mm-hmm.
And Amazon, like our Amazon roundup this should be like 24. I
Mm-hmm.
think it was 24.
Mm-hmm.
So we
24.
should be like on one of those roads near the mountains in the Amazon, maybe like the 5N, if it has the road lines in the middle. It's kind of hard to
It
tell
does,
from
yeah,
the
it
free
does.
share, but yeah.
I was just going to mention as well the 30C should be 2023 normally, should it not?
I don't really, I kind of vibe it, so I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
remember.
30C is kind of
But
easy, but I'm pretty sure it's 2023 if you guys are curious. And then if you see 2022, it's normally around Mazamari, I think, which is pretty uncommon to see 2022. And then around like Cajamarca area, you're gonna see a lot of 2024. So, like, I don't know, it's definitely something that pros do, so it's worth mentioning. But obviously, like, if you can learn without it, it's also a good thing. It's just that Peru's really hard, so people do tend to use the copyright quite a lot. But anyway, let's see
there
if
is
it's
even,
this.
I was gonna say there is even one road. Oh, nice.
Yeah, you were saying?
But there is one road that even has like I think it's 23 on or 24 on like both sides, and there's like a one small chunk of the road which is 22. So
Yeah,
you could basically like 5K by knowing which part of the road is 22,
yeah,
and it's surrounded by like 25. Should be
yeah.
like near like
Copyright's annoying, isn't it? The minutia of it.
yeah.
Okay, so landscape-wise, this is pretty interesting. It's like a mountain road. It's extremely dry. This is another one where I'd go check the copyright. So 2023. So this looks southern to me. I think it's the way that the mountains have no vegetation on it. Reminds me more of the south, although you can see this in the north as well. I'm kind of feel I can't remember which like of the unpaved roads, but I'm kind of feeling like it's gonna be something like between Ica and the southern border. But I was kind of thinking, more so like around Arequipa or something. So I
Mm,
think I'd guess there maybe.
I agree, like Arequipa area for sure.
Do you have a specific call out here? I'm not sure. Like it's a kind of slightly paved road, so it's kind of hard to say.
I think it might be that one next to like where you like it might be just that one, but I'm
Okay,
not sure.
let's give it a go. Okay, nice, good stuff.
Okay, there you go.
Okay, small cam. Wow, and this one's not looking like Cusco. Cusco's obviously like very green, or at least like not dry like this. So let's have a look around. So, So I don't actually know where this small cam is, so I'm gonna try and vibe it out with zero car meta. You know what I mean? Um,
Yeah.
I mean we do probably have we have the 20A here, so that's obviously gonna be super useful. There's the 20C, so there's the 28. Okay, it makes sense that it's near Lima, to be honest. I should have actually tried to figure it out without that, but obviously it just goes to show that this is actually really useful. Just look at that second line where the name of the road is. Disregard this, because that's just like the number of kilometers or whatever. Yeah. And then at this point, you can kind of see that it's quite open, so we should be towards the coast here. I can only imagine where, let's see the angle here. Yeah, I can only imagine we're like in this valley here, maybe like there, or like there.
I
How's that
think
sound to you?
so. It looks more coastal, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. It shouldn't
I
be
thought it
too
was
far
like
into the mountains.
I even thought it was the coast at first, like straight up, but it shouldn't be because it says the 28,
Yeah, and
which
also
only
it's
goes.
34 kilometers, so presumably the 20A starts like right here or something, or like
Mm.
here. Yeah, yeah, somewhere there. Anyway, okay, nice.
Yep.
Okay, we're on a great score so far, and now we're in the Amazon. You can immediately tell
Yeah.
that it's flat, it's green, right? So very different vibe to the previous rounds. So let's see if we can figure it out here. So first thing we would look for, I guess, would be a tuk-tuk, but we're not finding. It's actually
Okay,
very
so
yeah.
I might have a clue here, which are
Mm-hmm.
these poles, which should be theoretically more common in like on the 30C,
Mm.
but it's not 100%. Like we are like those thick Argentinian poles.
Yeah, I do.
But yeah, as we said earlier in Peru, there's like they're all facing the same side.
Yeah.
Those are more common north,
Mm-hmm.
and like on the 30C, these poles are more common.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Mm-hmm.
would lean 30C.
Mm-hmm.
But it might be even like one of the smaller cities up north. I don't think it's the big city. Might be like close to Brazil.
Like
Um,
one of these ones. Yeah, sure.
y-
I was gonna say like at first I was definitely considering Iquitos here, but what you said about the poles definitely makes sense. I do have
also,
bananas. Yeah.
I don't know. Somebody told me Iquitos is it again. It's kind of like a troll clue, but Iquitos is often like very overcast, so
Mm.
you you should
This one's
keep that
quite
in
sunny.
mind too.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's like yeah, worth noting that a lot of these towns have coverage. So let's guess over here. And okay, yeah, that was just the main one, but
It was
that's
just
still a good score. In the grand scheme of things, if you had this score on a world map, it would be like 4.6, 4.7. So okay,
okay.
bigger city here. This time it's harder to get the vibe. It feels like we're in the mountains, but it's still very dry. Yeah, it's very dry. Wow. Okay. Um, so what should we look? We'll look for a tuk-tuk here, shall we?
A tuk-tuk, yeah.
Yeah. So that's like not a proper tuk-tuk. Neither is that. We got a cat, but no tuk-tuks. Everything's kind of too distant, I would say. Next, I want to look at like the poles as well, just to see if we have anything. But it seems like we probably don't have any useful pole markings here either. We got the black base. They have a lot of that black base.
Yeah, that's common.
Okay, we're inside the mountains here. It kind of it doesn't quite give a Lima vibe. I think it's too small of a town.
Yeah, I would say like I don't want to say Lima, but from Lima down to like Moquegua or something.
Yeah, like in that kind of
Uh,
stretch, I could agree. I could agree because again, we're looking at mountains with just zero vegetation on them, so it gives more of an Atacama vibe, doesn't it? I would say.
could be Arequipa. It doesn't. I don't know. It feels wrong for Arequipa
Yeah, I
though.
don't think it's Arequipa either. What about like Just trying to think of what would actually work here. See, it could. I think it could still be like one of these cities over here as well.
Could definitely be.
Do we have any vegetation? Like, I'm looking for any like banana trees or something that could help us go further north. Or yeah, it's pretty devoid of info. Like, I feel like this is like super workoutable, right? Like, we could definitely, with enough time and scanning, get it.
The mountains just feel so Lima to me. I don't know why.
It's true. Maybe this is actually Lima. Let's see.
It's not there, I don't think, because that looks different. Where you clicked previously.
Yeah. Okay, maybe this is Lima because, like, at the end of the day, I can't really think of anything else that quite makes sense, right? So, yeah, maybe we're like, how's the angle? Not quite that. I'm not sure. Maybe something like that. I don't know. Like, normally Lima has a more distinct vibe, which is what concerns me slightly. Something out here, maybe.
Yeah, same.
Okay, it was Nazca. Okay. Kind of weird that we, like, I forgot that Nazca, you can see them, like, kind of all directions, the mountains.
Wait, could you click the lock real quick? Like the first pan? Because without the mountains, like, when we spawned in, I got them like an Ika vibe, but it felt wrong. So that Nazca Ika area, I guess, can look like Lima a bit sometimes, but this was like, I was getting mixed vibes here, so.
Yeah, it was just a bit tough because the mountains were surrounding us completely, and you can easily miss, I think, that Nazca actually has mountains that kind of surround the whole thing. Nazca lines, like, I don't know if you have, like, or if you guys watching have looked at those before, but yeah, that definitely looked like the Nazca lines, like where they have them. Oh, look here, we have like a pretty unique landscape, I would say. This is cool.
Okay. Immediately, this is giving me like north vibes.
Yeah. I thought based on this trees here that it looked northern. Yeah.
You have a bridge cactus. Or
yeah, we do.
Oh, these canals too. I should probably.
Yeah. What about these canals?
They're very common, like up north, and I forget the names. The two big cities, mostly around Chiclayo, actually.
Yeah.
But this is pretty hilly, so it's probably like more inland rather than it being the coast.
This would be one more check, and the copyright could be nice as well, right? Well, 2025, okay.
I don't think that's too useful on this specific round.
Sure. Just trying to think. I could still honestly be tempted by more south, but yeah, I think the vegetation again does kind of remind me more like up here somewhere. What do you think of like this kind of guess?
Maybe like I don't know if this body of water is marked. It's probably not on the map, but it's probably not on the map. So just maybe just click in a valley. I don't know. Yeah. I would lean more north, but like where you are now.
Yeah, I'm just looking for anything good. I mean, this could work, yeah. Why not? Okay, it was Ayacucho area. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Maybe 2025 could help us consider south more, right? I don't know, but that makes sense. We had like the reddish soil. Just trying to see if there's anything else. And this is the kind of round that's the hardest in Peru, I would say.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, high altitude. Immediately high altitude vibes. Oh, look at that. Snowy mountains as well. Okay, and we've got the tufts of grass. So this is like leaning you down here, but you got to consider up here as well. Okay, what do you think?
Based on vibes alone, I don't think it's north. I would just say like it might be the mountains next to Arequipa again.
Yeah, I kind of like that, to be honest. It looks like Bolivia. Like, I would actually legitimately consider Bolivia here. So, like, I would definitely think this is south. Could it be, like, do you sometimes see, like, a similar, like, landscape around Huancavelica? But I think the mountains are shorter, that we wouldn't have snow.
I don't think there is much. There's, like, less gentry in that area. True. And also, like, the road just feels wrong. Like, I think it would be, like, definitely paved. I don't know. I like Arequipa more.
Yeah, me too. So I'm just trying to think where we'd look onto tall mountains like this. The road to Chivai looks different, I think.
That road is super troll, by the
Yeah.
way. That road looks like so much more north than it should.
Yeah. It's quite
Um,
cool. It's like a very epic dirt road.
mm.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess just around here somewhere, right?
But we have mountains on the north, like maybe more southeast, because the mountains are like north of us.
What I'm worried is if we go more southeast, then we'd start to get less grass, right? Like
Mm.
if you head towards the coast, then the grass kind of disappears. So it makes me
Oh,
wonder
I meant just
even
a little tiny bit. Like,
could we even be like looking up, you know, mountains over here even potentially. These kind of ones.
I don't think there are roads that are covered that are like unpaved.
Sure. Okay.
So I just think are a keep.
Okay. Yeah, nice. Oh, it was just below
Oh,
Chivai
oh,
though.
it was.
Yeah, but still a good score. Still a good score. Had that southern vibes, kind of looked like Bolivia a little bit. Ooh, now this one I
Oh,
feel like
this
we could
is
get
super.
NMPZ. Yeah.
Should I just say it or?
Yeah, sure.
I think this is just the big city near the lake.
Yeah,
Just
yeah. It
what we
definitely
got.
looks like Juliaca or potentially Puna, right?
Puna is more mountainous
Yeah,
though.
exactly. This is too flat. Yeah. Could it be one of the other ones as well? But yeah, like this kind of architecture, it looks super Bolivian, and like you can tell it's like high altitude. Like even though it's like at a lake, it's high altitude inside here. Yeah.
Oh, I should probably mention they like to put a lot of glass on buildings in
Ooh.
this area. Like a lot of, I mean, not here, but yeah, there is like big glass panels,
Did not know
like
that.
super big glass panels. If you look to the like to the left, you see those buildings, just like huge glass panels, kind of.
These ones?
Those like on the right, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, even I don't know. It's just
Yeah, that's cool.
yeah.
Didn't know that.
Oh
Okay.
yeah,
Well, I
chunks
think
of
it should be
glass.
Juliaca or a surrounding town. Yeah, nice.
Yeah, yeah. There you go.
It's a pretty gettable. Yeah, it's pretty gettable there. Okay.
Ooh, I have a meta for this. So this should be Black Argent 3, and it should be the road. Yep, there you go. It's the only. I think it's north of Tarapoto. This chunk of the road north, all the way to the next province. No, the left one, the one on the left. This one, all the way to the next province from Tarapoto, is Black Argent 3, and it's super distinct.
Yeah.
This is a super gettable road.
It's quiet. It's a little
Looks
hazy. It's like kind of cloudy up in the hills, like with the northern
it,
vegetation. Anything else to get it
it
by?
it almost kind of looks like I mean without the sign you might even go like what is it called?
Like Malaysia
Uh
or
what am I thinking of? I'm thinking of a country.
Bhutan.
Bhutan.
Yeah,
Yeah, there you
okay.
go.
Yeah. I can see that. I can see that. Definitely has a slight Bhutan vibe, maybe like a Sabah in Malaysia kind of vibe.
Yeah, definitely.
Um, I was gonna say there's the black and the red and white things on the car,
Yeah, those are
and
reserved from taxis and like
yeah.
government vehicles.
One other thing I wanted to mention, the black car being like slightly blue like this is like only in Peru. I just noticed that. Like there's like
Mm.
it's like almost like a dark bluish kind of color, but if you ever see that, it should just be Peru, in my experience. Okay, nice. That was that road. Oh yeah, this is
Okay,
fun.
what is this copyright?
Yeah,
This is gettable.
23. So it kind of feels again like this kind of area to me. Let's have a look around.
Correct, yeah. So this is one of the only outer line routes.
Okay,
And
yeah.
but it's like really like messed up like this should be wait, can you line up the angle? Sh uh let's see if there is like what's that one city? Wait, zoom in, go left a bit. Should be that road, like left to the left of the mountains. 32? What is it? 32?
32A, yeah.
No, the ones below. What
Oh,
does it
this
say?
one. Okay.
32.
Yeah, 32, yeah.
Yeah, could be that one, but the angle is kind of weird. Ah, it could be.
Yeah,
There's a
it's not
lot
out of
of
the
weird
question.
angles.
Yeah, it's a mountain road. You can't really trust those angles too much. But yeah, so what Remy's saying is the outer lines here being like this are certain roads throughout Peru, and you can actually map them to get an advantage as well.
I could actually publish the map somewhere. Actually,
Yeah, maybe
that would be
Plonk it or
good.
something. You could do it when this video comes out. Wow. Okay, that was quick.
There you go.
Nice. Okay, so yeah, as you guys can see, a bit of niche knowledge like that can be obviously super helpful as well. If we only got the IQ show, it would have been a really good score. Okay, we'll do one more
Yeah.
seed here. We'll go a bit quicker this time. Okay, we got the small cam again. So honestly, like it kind of looks like your average Cajamarca, but with the small cam. Yeah, I guess we're
Yeah.
probably going towards Cusco here. Anything to mention before we guess?
Could even be north of Cusco. Maybe there is some new roads covered actually north of Cusco, but could be just south.
I mean, I like it. It's super green, so it must be covered during the winter here. Quite cool. Okay, what's the
Oh,
Cusco
it was just
area?
south.
Oh, this feels distinctive. Wow. Oh, wow. So generation 3, it's like bushy. We got like some ferns. Around like this, I would look for those pine plantations maybe on one of the hills just to see if I think it might be Cajamarca. Seems like we do have
I
like
have.
a bunch of trees, but like, what are you thinking
I
here?
actually have a good. I mean, you see how there is like different patches of kind of like I don't know if it's agricultural, but there's like different colors or
Yeah.
like different patches of. I would lean north here
Mm-hmm.
because of that. Like
Mm-hmm.
you see where it says Peru, and then like north of that, like kind of in the big mountains. What are they? I mean, it's still Andes, but what are those big mountains called there? Those like
Uh,
snow-capped ones on the map,
I don't
like
know.
national. But
Yeah.
yeah, these ones. Around here and then north of it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of where I clicked. I agree. It kind of looks like this kind of area.
Mm,
We do see there's quite a bit of few people living in here. Like Peru's such a crazy country. The places that
yeah, I
people
love
live
it.
are pretty mind blowing, to be honest. Should we guess?
What's
Where do
the?
you have a specific call out you want to go for?
Oh, I mean, just between Camargue. It could be all the way up there, but should be just
Oh
between them.
wow, Abankai that time.
Oh, so this is kind of around where it's super tough to guess. Like the whole Andes are like this is the first like proper Andes round that we got,
Mhm.
and these are like super tough. These are gonna mess you up even if you play thousands of games.
That's true. I think maybe the lack of like pine plantation could be a red flag potentially, but as you said, super difficult. Okay, this is one. I'm glad we got this before the video's over. So we got first flat, dry agricultural landscape. Immediate thought should be around Pura with this, but there are still other options. So let's have a look around. Oh, so we have the canal that you were talking about.
Yeah,
So you can see it's kind of sandy hills, very flat landscape all in all. We have some corn as well. Corn's very common on the coast. Kind of all up and down though. Yeah, I think I would go. I think I would just go here, right? Like it's so flat that you kind of have to. I feel.
it could be Chiclayo always.
Yeah, true. So Chiclayo is also flat with some hills, and to be fair, we do see a hill here, so could be, could be. Do you lean a certain way here? I'm not sure. I think I would go Pura.
I mean, I don't want to like make you switch, but I would lean more Chiclayo, but just
Yeah, that's fair. We do actually have quite a significant number of kind of random hill stuff. So maybe like here.
I'm sorry if I'm wrong.
Let's find out. Okay, it was Chimbote even. Nice.
Oh, man.
Yeah, these ones
So
look kind of similar, to be fair.
I was talking earlier how we have those like valleys
Yeah,
all the way from like Chimbote, Trujillo, like up north.
definitely so. Okay, back in the Andes. This time Gen 4, 2025 copyright. Wow, it's so epic. That is crazy.
Yeah.
With 2025, I know you said 2025 like appears like around Lima as well. I think I would go near Lima here maybe because these mountains are so tall. What do you think?
Yeah, for sure. Looks like kind of like I call them just Lima Valley, but it looks kind of like Lima. And when I say like Lima Valley, it could be like all around Lima. Like it's like kind of like the whole area
Mm-hmm.
that looks like that.
Sure, let's give it a go. Okay, not too far
Oh,
there.
good.
Around Aikuchi, but again, makes sense for the 2025, right?
Yeah, I think so. Though that is really close to actually like the Amazon border, like
Yeah,
the
true.
Amazon.
True. Oh, it's still not a bad score. Okay, easy one.
Yeah, this should be, you should be thinking just like the Lake Titicaca here.
Yeah, so high altitude, tufts of grass, looks like Bolivia, flat, but with hills. Like, yeah, this is like so easy. Like this kind of area. Let's actually see here. Just trying to see what the landscape's like to our north and stuff. I suppose it's even like it really does look like the border, but I think the landscape's a bit wrong, so we'll go over here instead. Yeah.
Nice.
Okay. And there we go. Not quite as good a score on the last one, but the seed was much harder than the previous ones, I would say. Okay. So, thank you so much for joining me, Remy. And any last words before
Yeah.
we sign out here?
No, just thank you for having me, and I'm glad more people are gonna be able to like learn Peru and stuff because like I'm very passionate about this country.
Yeah, yeah. 5,000 games is no joke. But yeah, thanks so much for joining me. Let me know, guys, in the comment section what country you want to see next. And yeah, go ahead, check out the Plonket guide. And yeah, get some practice in because it's a very fun country to learn. Okay, till next time, and goodbye.